Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday meditation. I am pleased to announce that Reverend Carolyn will be acting as our practitioner for the day today, and she will be leading our meditation this morning. So good morning, Reverend Carolyn. Thank you, and I am going to turn it over to you. And if everyone could mute themselves, thank you.
So good morning, everyone. I want to invite you to get comfortable in your seat. Allow yourself to come to a place of relaxation. And begin to just recognize your breathing. Breathing in, breathing out, very easy and effortlessly. And as you breathe, I invite you to begin to think of the goodness of that breath. Because that which breathed you is the very life of our existence. And with every breath you release, we are continuing to participate in the life of this existence. Just breathing in and breathing out, easily and effortlessly. Now imagine that your breath is actually coming through your heart center. You breathe in through the heart. You breathe out through the heart. Just imagine it. And as you do this breathing, begin to breathe a little bit deeper as well as a little bit longer. Breathing in deeply and releasing it a little bit longer. And with every breath, it fills the entirety of your body. For the breath you breathe in goes into every cell, tissue, and fiber of your physical body, breathing in and breathing out. And as you breathe, your attention is only on this action. Breathing through the heart, breathing out through the heart. So with every breath, you take in life. With every breath out, you are supporting life. Just breathe easy. Breathe effortlessly. Being comfortable in your chair, right where you're sitting. Using the imagination, just imagine that right where you're sitting on a chair of compassion. And right under your buttocks or your body that's sitting on your seat is the great big heart of God. Breathe in, breathe out. And I invite you to just relax there as you breathe on this chair of compassion. Sitting in the heart of God. And just think of a time when you experienced great love and you knew that it was love. Just allow the story of it to completely form in your mind. And allow the feeling tone of it to be all around your body, feeling the space right where you are. Just breathe in, breathe out. this feeling of love, this feeling of compassion that you are experiencing is for you. It's all about you and the love right here in this moment. You see you and the love being in the very heart of God. So for the next few moments, I invite you to allow the very heart of God to speak to the heart of you. And it can be about anything that is of concern or of interest to you. In this space of inner ease, in this space of safety, in this space of grace. Breathing in, breathing out, relaxed in the love of spirit. Breathing in this love. Filling yourself with this love. Love yourself so much that there isn't a place around you, there isn't a thought within you that does not emanate from the love of who you are. You are one with this love. And because we receive the givingness of spirit at every moment, I invite you to share this love. Just allow it to go out where it can be useful. Let it go out to where it may be needed. It matters not if you know where that is. Just release love into your room. Release love to go beyond the walls of your room. Just release love to be the healing agency that it is for our life, for our community. for our society. Just release this love. Know that love is not a respecter of person. It finds its perfect place of rest. And it flows easily through you. At the next spell, I will invite you to come back into the very presence of your physical room. Just breathing in, breathing out, easily, effortless, allowing yourself to be fully present here in this space for this call. And just letting it be. And so it is. This ends the meditation for this morning.
Hello.
So it is. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Reverend Carolyn. That was beautiful.
Good morning. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Let's just take one more minute to potentially let some more people join prior, and then we'll get started. So we can just take a moment to say good morning to one another. Happy
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hello.
Big hugs, big hugs.
Good morning, Barbara.
Hey, Linda.
Hi.
Hi, Richard. Good morning. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Nola.
Hi, good morning.
How are you? Hi, Sue. Good morning.
That's Auntie Sue, right?
And
It is Auntie Sue, my very favorite auntie. Yes.
Aww.
Hi,
I'm Auntie Sue also.
Revy. Oh, that's awesome. Nona,
Oh,
good
there's
morning.
Revy. Hi, Revy. Hi, Jim.
Well, Barbara said she's
Here.
I think she's still there until June 3rd. But
Morning, Jim.
Oh, there's Vance and Pat. Good morning.
Yes,
Good
we're
morning,
here
Reverend.
too.
Hi, Pat. I like your curly hair. Looks pretty.
Brand new hairstyle.
I
Wow.
like it.
Guess who did it?
Oh,
Not me.
Oh,
Not me.
wow, man.
Did it herself.
oh.
Oh, great. I love it. Well, we're all being relegated to self-hair care, which is pretty terrifying for some. Myself.
Mine's always pulled back.
That's what I thought this whole meeting is about, is self-care, isn't it?
Well,
That's
it is. Not hair
Yeah.
care,
Nice.
self-care. Yes,
Aw.
indeed it is.
Hi, Vance. Hi, Pat.
I know.
This is my self-care, right?
Lovely to see all of you.
Lolita is with me.
Oh,
Nice to see
Loretta,
you.
what a good kitty.
So we also want to welcome those that are
look at
on
Lolita.
Facebook.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes, welcome love streamers, Facebookers.
Okay, that's a nice cat.
Barbara, where are you?
Washington in Tacoma.
Ah.
Yeah.
I leave tomorrow back to Half Moon Bay,
Wow.
Safe travels home.
and then coming back up here by the 19th. We're leaving.
Wow.
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 Well, we're gonna miss you. But then you
We're
can
really
still
gonna
live
miss
stream
you.
us. You can still join us on Zoom.
Absolutely.
I'm
We'll
joining
have a
you.
virtual going away party.
This smiling face.
It's
You
10.
look beautiful today, especially beautiful.
I love your T-shirt, Elliot.
Orange color.
Cool T-shirt. I like it.
Oh, me too.
Look at Elliot's T-shirt.
I saw that.
There
Beautiful.
Cool. That's really
I
cool.
can't see Elliotte. Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
there she is.
There you go, Loretta.
It's time
Hi,
to carry.
Craig.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this amazing service. We can blast off into just a wonderful hour, followed by another wonderful hour of just spirit and community and joy. So I would like to introduce Jim Fowler. Jim is our guest musician for today. So welcome, Jim. I'm going to ask everyone to mute themselves. So if we could do that now.
Speaker's muted.
You're muted, Jim.
That's not good. Are you ready for the song? Okay. For those of you who are children of the 60s or teenagers, there was a band called Manfred Mann, and they had a song called Do-Wah Diddy Diddy Dum Diddy Do, which was a hit, believe it or not. They also performed a song called Quinn the Eskimo, which was written by Bob Dylan. Well, between the brilliant mind of Deanna Mullins and myself, I have rewritten it. It's called The Spirit Within, and it's set to the tune of Quinn the Eskimo. Here you go. Your heart will open, your head will spin, when you've connected to the spirit within. Your heart will open, your head will spin, when you've connected to the spirit within. Everybody's got a life with challenges and stress. Some of us have more than most, some of us have less. Some are ardent in despair, even the girls and boys. But when spirit comes a-calling, everybody's gonna jump for joy. Sing it with me. Your heart will open, your head will spin, when you've connected to the spirit within. Your heart will open, your head will spin, when you've connected to the spirit within. I like to live just like the rest. I like my sugar sweet, but telling lies and cheating just ain't my cup of tea. I know when I cross that line how to set it straight. The spirit shows me how to love and how to drop the hate. Sing it. Your heart will open, your head will spin, when you've connected to the spirit within. Yeah, your heart will open, your head will spin, when you've connected to the spirit within. Help me do what the spirit wants, I can't always do it alone. Just tell me how to find it, and I'll stay inside the zone. Nobody can get no sleep with someone on everyone's toes. But when spirit comes a-calling, we won't mind being so close. Well, come on, open. Your head will spin when you connect it to the spirit within. Sing it with me. Your heart will open. Yeah, your head will spin when you connect it to the spirit within. For the last time, your heart will open. Your head will spin when you connect it to the spirit within. Thank you.
That was so great. You and Deanna, when you collaborate, just come up with so many just incredible ideas that
Thank you. Thank you.
are so well executed. And I can only speak for myself, but everyone else as well looks like they're having a really good time just listening to your music. So thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Good morning again, and welcome, welcome. I would like to now introduce our Leadership Council member, Greg Hargrove. Greg, take it away.
Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We would like to welcome everyone here with us this morning. My name is Greg Hargrove. I'm a member of your Leadership Council. And as always, it's our intention that you will be inspired by this music, which we're already doing, transformed by the message, which we eagerly anticipate, and you are here certainly by divine appointment, whether in person or virtually, we're still together. And I extend to you an invitation to change your entire life by changing your mind. We teach the science of mind, which is the study of life and the natural laws of thought. The idea that we live in a spiritual universe, that God or Spirit is in, through, and around us always, and that this presence is the loving source of all good. Most importantly, every person is needed and significant. Our doors are open to all. This service has been designed especially for each of you, and let me say welcome home. Please join me at this time with claiming our mission statement. Could we put that on the screen, Carrie?
Actually, we're having a bit of a technical snafu. Joe, can you enable sharing? I'm not able to share my screen.
We can go without it if
yeah, or you can just read it, Greg, and we can repeat. That's fine. We can just do a repetition after you speak it. That's fine. Just go ahead.
All right. Our mission is to transform the planet through spiritual practice, education, service, empowerment, and by living inspired lives. Nothing attracts people to this teaching more than seeing someone else living life at a higher level and wanting to know, how did you do that? What's going on? And so that last part, living inspired lives, we do that not only for ourselves, but we uplift others as we do that as well. The 2020 theme for our worldwide movement is spiritual vision, and our focus for May is courage and compassion. Certainly a timely combination, I would say. The spiritual value for May is joy. Joining me in service today, our online moderator, who I would refer to as the producer, Carrie Majewski, making sure that everyone is in their proper space and aligned and sequencing the right way. It's not an easy job. We much appreciate it. Our practitioner of the day is none other than our own Reverend Carolyn Douglas. So Carolyn will be giving a beautiful talk soon. Our guest musician, whom we've already heard for, is Jim Fowler. Today's insight message will be given by Elliotte Mao, she of the really cool t-shirt. Our online sound and tech desk, Joe, is on the sound and tech desk today. And events today, we will have our CSLP Community Open Forum chat immediately following Sunday service. And that goes, well, might be immediately following. It starts at 11:30 and it goes until 12:30 by way of Zoom. So that is our fellowship time We can't share food like we would if we were at the center, but everything else is there for us to enjoy. Robyn and Gil Olmstead will be providing our Sunday message, and the name of the message is The Heart of the Matter. This is going to be wonderful. So I've been looking forward to this for a while. There are also licensed professional spiritual practitioners present with us in the service today to offer prayer support for creating healthy, vibrant, and fulfilling lives. Reverend Carolyn Douglas, as I mentioned, is our practitioner of the day today. So we'll have opportunities following service for 1-minute miracles. And for full scheduled sessions and a full spiritual mind treatment, you can talk with any of our ministers or practitioners and make an appointment. Is anyone joining us today for the first time? If so, raise your hand. I think I recognize everybody. All right, wonderful.
Hey, Greg?
Yes.
I believe that we have a friend of Elliotte's, Mary, who is joining us for the first time today.
Oh, okay. There she is. Oh, okay.
And
Sorry, I
think
didn't notice earlier.
this is Reverend Carolyn on Facebook Live. I believe we have guests.
Awesome.
So welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
Yes. We're happy that everyone is here. And I now am happy to say let's all focus on our heartfelt service. And again, thank you all for joining us today online.
Thank you so much, Greg. Now I would like to bring back Jim for the song In Meeting We Are Blessed. Jim.
Thank you. This was a song that we prepared for the Feast of Kwanzaa last year. We are met together, and in meeting we are blessed. Peace in coming and in going, peace in labor and in rest. We are met together, and in meeting we are blessed. Peace in coming and in going, peace in labor and in rest. Hold on, dear brother. Hold on, dear sister. Hold on to me. We are met together, and in meeting we are blessed. Peace in coming and in going, peace in labor and in rest. We are met together, and in meeting we are blessed. Peace in coming and in going, peace in labor and in rest. You're not alone, and you never more will be. I will be with you, and I will carry you with me. Friendships endure. Surely we are proof it's not ourselves, but our bodies that move. We are met together, and in meeting we are blessed. Peace in coming and in going, peace in labor and in rest. We are met together, and in meeting we are blessed. Peace in coming and in going, peace in labor and in rest. Hold on, dear brother. Hold on, dear sister. Hold on to me. Hold on to me.
Wow, I cannot think of a more perfect song for today. Thank you. That was just beautiful. You make me want to learn how to play guitar. It was really beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And now I would like to introduce Reverend Carolyn, who will be doing our opening prayer. and the affirmation, and we will be doing the affirmation today as call and response, but I do ask that you keep yourself muted. Thanks. Reverend Carolyn.
Thank you. So let's just go within for a moment. And I invite you to just breathe in very deeply and then release that breath. And as we come, we recognize that there's a divine presence. There's a divine power. There is a divine intelligence right where we are. It is in and through all that exists here, and we are one with it. I accept for today that this service is created in the very mind and heart of spirit, that it moves easily and effortlessly through us. For the very presence of the divine is within our heart, and it moves out from our heart to everything that we are a part of. So we release this feeling of heart into this service, reaching heart to heart, connecting one another. And I accept that this service is already whole, perfect, and complete in the very mind of God. Therefore, we choose to just enjoy it from the time of its beginning to the time that we concluded. So I release it, I let it be, knowing that everyone is blessed, and so it is. Our affirmation for today is as follows, and I invite you to just repeat it behind me. I will say it in a call and response way. I follow the guidance of infinite wisdom that is within me to accomplish all that my heart instructs me to do, and I am content. Let's do that again. I follow the guidance of infinite wisdom that is within me to accomplish all that my heart instructs me to do, and I am content.
Thank you. Now it is time for our insight speaker, and I would like to introduce CSLP Leadership Council member and Toast Mistress extraordinaire, Elliotte Mao. Elliotte, welcome.
Good, good morning, everyone. Today is the last day in May, and May is the month to celebrate Pan-Asian, but it's also the month to celebrate Mother's Day. So originally, I was going to give a talk to celebrate being Asian and being a mother. And a few weeks ago, I gave a talk where I introduced the two words called Yi Xing, one heart, one heart. I want to keep those two words today, but I tossed out my whole talk. I don't want to talk about being Asian or being female or being a mother, because my heart is broken. If you have been watching the news and seeing what's going on, your heart is breaking too. When I talk about the heart that is connecting all of us, and that heart, even though it's in the different bodies here, when I saw what happened to George Floyd, when I saw what's happening in the street, my heart hurts. And so today, I actually want to talk about racism. It's the elephant in the room. Now, as a Leadership Council member, I am assigned the position of what they call the cultural attaché. That one of my first assignments to be the cultural attaché was to attend a workshop by Robyn. She wrote a book called White Fragility. White Fragility. And in that talk, she said, everybody is a racist. Everybody is a racist. And she says that subject is very uncomfortable. And then she says, get what? Get uncomfortable. Get uncomfortable. So today I do want to share my story about growing up with racism. And I want you to be ready to be uncomfortable. In 1957, my father, who was a diplomat, was sent from China to Washington, D.C. Now that is a coveted position to have, to be assigned to the Chinese embassy in Washington, D.C. So if you know that in 1957, this is before civil rights movement. And I do remember the first day I went to class, into school, and during recess time, I saw 2 4th graders, white boys, beating up a 6th grader, Stacia Crockett, a big strapping black girl bigger than them. The 2 boys threw Stacia Crockett on the ground, stepped on her head, and grinded it into the pavement. The other boy stood on her limbs. And what really surprised me was Stacia Crockett didn't fight back. She didn't fight back. So after a while, a few months into the school, one day, these 2 boys spotted me. And they came up to me and said, "Excuse me, you are not white enough to be in this playground." And they grabbed me, threw me to the ground, and I knew what the routine was going to be. I knew what was going on. So I pulled myself out of the grip and I ran into the girls' room. But guess who was in the girls' room? Stacia Crockett. Oh my gosh, Stacia Crockett. She knows what I'm having to go through. She could help me. I said, "Can you help me? Those 2 boys, they're out to get me." And then, to my shock, she said, "Who says you can stay in my bathroom? Huh? You ain't black enough. Huh? You have to kiss me." And when I didn't want to, she punched me in the stomach so hard. I ran out of that bathroom. I ran out of that school. I ran home. I wasn't coming back. I was not coming back. That evening, my dad talked to me and said, "What? Do you realize what I do for my job? I am a diplomat negotiating peace around the world. And what does it look like when my child can't even get along in school? Go back to school." I said, "Dad, I am not white. I am not black. What color do you have to be in this country? I don't like this country. I want to go home. I want to go home." Then my dad says, what a lot of parents says, "Why don't you be like your big sister?" Huh? Your big sister. She's not fighting. Why are you in trouble all the time? I said, "Ooh, my big sister. Yeah. How come they're not picking on her?" So next time when I went recess time, I went to look for my big sister. Recess time. Oh, guess what I saw? Those 2 boys coming after my big sister. They went up to her and go, "Hey, Ching Chong, what'd I say? You are not white enough to be playing in this playground. As a matter of fact, why don't we give you a tour of this playground? In 2 seconds, you're going to see the ground." And before they're able to grab her, she says, yeah, but you know, you better be careful of all the little creatures that are running around on the ground now. Creature? Yeah. You know, you have not noticed them? We have those in Taiwan. We have those in China. They are the most incredible little creatures. They have the bodies of a macaroni. On one end, it looks like a caterpillar, but the other end has the human head. Yeah. And the two boy goes, huh? Are those around? And she goes, yeah, but you have to be really careful. And the two boys goes, what? What do they do? How do they get like this? And my sister says, I'll tell you next time. And you know, there was a next time and the next time and the next time. They sought her out during recess time. Hey, Pearl, can you tell us a story more about that? Ladies and gentlemen, there are times that we have to use our head to get out of a situation that has to do with our hearts there too. So you know what? I went to the girls' room one time, and this is what I usually do. I'm sorry. I peek into the bathroom. I look under the stall to see if I see any feet. If there are any feet in the stall, I'm not going in. Okay. This time when I looked in there, no feet. Coast is clear. I went into the stall, was going to do my thing. All of a sudden, I saw a shadow loom over me, and I looked up, and I saw Stacia Crockett straddling the walls of the toilet stall, and she rode me like a bronco horse. Oh my gosh. I struggled out of that stall until I was wrestling, and I said, Stacia. I said, don't get any urine on me. She goes, why? Because where I come from, we have these bugs in the bathrooms that are attracted to urine. What? Yeah, they're horrible. They don't think of anything but the uric acid is something. Well, did you get urine all over me? Did you get urine all over you? And she goes, oh, yeah. Ooh. Oh. He said, can you tell me about these critters? I said, maybe another time. Maybe another time. And so what does this tell me? This tells me that those two boys are just fourth graders. Stacia Crockett is just another person, like you, like me. So when we come to ask ourselves to use our hearts, but also use our mind, we really need to use our mind in the situation. Because there are things that are mental construct. Racism is emotional, but it is a mental construct because it's institutionalized. The only way that I think we could get around this whole situation is to use our mind. But I want to upgrade one more idea that in the CSLP, we are not only talking about the body, the mind, but the spirit. That 1/3 part has been missing there too. So that if we use our hearts and our minds, but our spirit part there too, it helps me think of things in a perspective that is not separatizing, that whoever it is out there that's doing something like that, why are they not feeling what I'm feeling? Why aren't their hearts broken? And if I could figure out with my mind and my spirit and my body, I'm going to do the right thing.
Wow, Elliotte. Thank you so much for your courage. Thank you for sharing your story. And thank you for giving us so much to think about. And not only think about, but to talk about. That's so important. Thank you. Now I would like to bring back Reverend Carolyn to introduce our guest speakers for the day today. Reverend Carolyn.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Elliotte, for sharing that story. It was so appropriate for us to hear it, filled with lots for us to consider. That is the heart of the matter. And the heart of the matter is the title of the talk that Robyn Rice Olmstead, religious science practitioner, as well as an agape licensed practitioner, and Reverend Gil William Olmstead from Agape, as well as the East Bay Church of Religious Science, will share with us. So let me give you a little bit about the background. This is their second time being with us this year, and we want to continue to cement this relationship. Gil and Robyn share a lifelong passion and commitment to seeing the world in ever-expanding circles of understanding. That's a chemical thing, you know, jumping from one orbit to the other. They have studied and served extensively in the New Thought movement and beyond. Robyn is an active licensed practitioner here in the Bay Area with the Agape Bay Area Church, as well as the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. And she additionally serves as the practitioner regional representative for Centers for Spiritual Living, Region 3, where we're located. Gil serves as a staff minister at East Bay Church of Religious Science, and he is the leader for the Bay Area New Thought Expanding and Rising group called Banter, and works with Robyn in their joint ministry, which is called Live Inspired. Through it, Robyn brings her skills and talents as an artivist, acting, teaching, creating, and doing voiceovers to the forefront. And Gil and Robyn are happiest when they're collaborating together on creating and leading retreats, events, and workshops. So when they're playing with others, they are committed to creating the space where insights, joy, and passion reveal themselves, and that each participant is able to embrace their own perfect learning. CSLP and our visitors, I present to you Robyn and Gil in the heart of the matter.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Reverend Carolyn.
Thank you so much. We're so happy to be here with you. Oh, thank you, Elliotte. We know this month has been about listening from the heart. And of course, we thought, great, we'll follow that up with a lovely talk about relationship and hearts and flowers and things. But Spirit had another idea. So some of what you'll hear is an adaptation of a piece written by James Jeffley, a very talented musician. Other parts have been written through us. And I'm just going to ask you right now to return to that place of safety that Reverend Carolyn set up so well in the meditation, knowing that you are in a place of safety, of grace, and that this is the place to feel. This is the place to work through some of our big feelings that we don't always talk about. So there is no spiritual bypass allowed today. And I'm just going to ask everyone to take a deep breath and to open your hearts and open your minds as we prepare to get to the heart of the matter.
So, you know how we've been in a virtual global lockdown for the last 2 months or so? We've all been there, right? Work has been disrupted. Social life has been disrupted. The economy's been disrupted. Life, for so many, has been disrupted. For some, it's been an inconvenience. For others, a tragedy. We've had to take precautions before leaving the house. Wear a mask, wear gloves, wash your hands, social distance. Why? Because we don't know who's a carrier. It could be us. We don't know if our next breath is going to infect us with a virus for which there is no cure and may cause horrific suffering or death. The pain, the isolation, the fear, the doubt, and worry many of us have experienced these last 2 months of COVID-19 is just a fraction of what people of color experience every day. The fear of leaving the house, going to work, or driving a nice car through a wealthy neighborhood. And now we can add bird watching, barbecuing, jogging, staying at home, shopping, minding one's own business, sitting in a car, having your hands up, lying on the ground, walking, eating Skittles, playing in the park. We can add all of that to the list of things for which people of color have been and can be killed. Can you imagine having the police called on you and not knowing whether it might lead to a violent beating, incarceration, or death? So this week, our cities are under siege. Curfews have been implemented in many places. Anger and violence have seemingly broken out everywhere.
This week, if only we were just talking about this week. When I lived in LA 30 years ago, after the LA riots or the uprising, or however you want to disguise the situation, I was in a show called Mama, Why is LA Burning? As an actress, I was asked to write a story. Everyone was asked to tell the different perspectives of what happened on the day of the riots. I based my piece on someone's experience during the riots, and I told the story of a young woman who had gotten off work early, as many of us did that day. The city was extremely quiet and very surreal as it had broken out. So I told the story of how I was sitting on the bus stop, and all of a sudden I noticed that there was 4 black guys coming towards me. I felt the fear begin to rise, and I saw that they were carrying bottles, broken, gas can, gas rag. I knew I couldn't outrun them. I knew that there was nowhere to go. They continued down the street, and I could feel my fear rising as I was clear they were coming for me. So I stood my ground, and I yelled, "Stop, wait, I'm black. No, really, I'm black, I swear." At this point in the show, the audience, who was primarily African American, would laugh. And I would turn to them and say, "No, really, I'm black. Just because my hair isn't nappy, my eyes are green, my skin is light, this doesn't mean I'm not black." I would go on to share about discrimination by all of my people, especially my black people. My black people would tell me I'm not black enough. My white people would say, "Now, you're so exotic. What exactly are you again?" And this piece would end by me saying, "You can't judge a book by its cover." When I went on to high school, one of my friends had invited me over for dinner. And when she found out I was black, she said, "Oh, would you like fried chicken and watermelon?" My black friends were outraged when I told them this. But there was something in me that knew that this wasn't intentional. She was spouting what she had seen, what she had heard, what she knew, and trying to make me comfortable. She couldn't know what she hadn't learned. She had watched TV or listened to her parents and bought into that race-conscious belief. I knew in that moment that it was about education.
And education is really why we're here, isn't it? Isn't that why we come to a place? like CSL Peninsula? Isn't that why we find ourselves sitting in groups of people, examining our lives and looking for ways to grow? We're here to educate ourselves. And these opportunities for education are everywhere if we choose. They're everywhere if we choose not to spiritually bypass. So, where are my blind spots? How deeply is my privilege hidden from me? I'll share a little story. When Robyn and I were getting married, which was a while ago now, we were sitting down with Reverend Carol Trailer, who was our minister who was going to marry us, and very brilliant Black woman. And partway through a conversation where we were sharing about, questions about us and questions about the wedding, she looked at me and she said, "Gil, have you told your family that Robyn is Black?" And I looked at her and I was dumbfounded. I'd never thought of that. I'd never thought it would be an issue. I never thought that maybe because of the lack of interaction of my white family with families like Robyn's who are Black, that they might have some reactions, particularly since we were entering into a marriage. It wasn't a casual relationship. And so it made me think about all of those things, about, is that true of my family? Was it true of me? Where was that held in me? And I think about the fact that many of us in this teaching, in this science of mind bubble, sometimes we don't see the people being treated in ways that others do. We don't sense it in our communities in the same way, and somehow we're able to pretend or to not even notice that it's going on. So in these last few days, few weeks, I've been examining how do I take advantage of my privilege? Where do I look away from what is being brought forth for healing? Where do I simply take the spiritual bypass? Ernest Holmes says, all apparent evil is the result of ignorance and will disappear to the degree that it is no longer thought about, believed in, or indulged in. So it's time to not be ignorant. It's time to not continue believing in and indulging in those areas.
We hear a lot about white privilege. White privilege is not designed to make you feel bad. It's to educate. I come from a place of Black privilege. Don't look it up. I'm pretty sure I'm making it up. But I have had the privilege of being Black in this skin, of being Mexican in this skin, of being white in this skin, of being me in this package. Yes, I will never know what it feels like to be a Black woman walking into a store and being followed around for that reason, or any of the other experiences that you hear of. I will never know what it feels like to be a white woman walking into that place. I don't have to deal with the same stereotypical events. But what I do have in common with all of us, regardless of color or size or height or hair color or skin color or any of it, is that I feel pain. I feel anger. I feel frustration. I feel fear. I feel sadness when situations like George Floyd happen in the world. When situations happen that we don't even hear about. So how do we stand in the midst of this and see God? I'll be honest with you. Reverend Carolyn cited a lot of places where I hold a spiritual license, and it's hard. It's still hard to get to that place sometimes. So how do we do that? How do we function in our world today that's laced in uncertainty and feels like there's nowhere to anchor? When we believe and know that God is all there is, it is our anchor. But even in that knowingness, how do we believe that it's all good when it clearly is anything but good? And how could it possibly be God? Well, let's just get to the heart of the matter. A client of mine was talking about, with everything going on, her heart feels like it's contracting, like it's shutting down. This is what happens when our lives are based in fear and pain and lead us to anger and disappointment. The true heart of the matter is getting to love and forgiveness. Yes, it sounds easy in some ways. We toss that around a lot. The spiritual principles of God. It should be easy. We as the New Thought community are often depicted as this kumbaya, tree-hugging, free-loving, all-good community. And while that may be true, we are also doing a tremendous amount of work to get to the heart of the matter. We are going in to discover more of who we are, why we are here, what's ours to do. It can be messy and definitely not always fun. So how do I do that when I'm angry, when I'm frustrated, when I'm in pain myself? I'm angry and heartbroken about a system of oppression and murder that sometimes feels like it isn't changing. But we can't let that be the truth. I hurt so much for so many. George Floyd, Emmett Till, and hundreds of thousands that have been nameless. I hurt for Elliotte and her sister, for Stacia Crockett, for the two boys on the playground. The nameless are the heart of the matter.
Recently, many of you may have seen that LeBron James shared a particular picture. It was two side-by-side pictures. One was George Floyd laying on the ground with a knee in his neck. And the other one was Colin Kaepernick on his knee at an NFL football game. And at the top it said, "This is why." And under it, LeBron wrote, "Do you understand now, or is it still blurred to you?" This is the heart of the matter. This is our spiritual 2x4. Will we get it this time, or will we bypass? I can stand for love, or I can be a part of the pain. I can stand for changes in our society that will promote love and compassion for everyone. Or I can bypass the work of loving myself enough to love you enough, and instead just spout some spiritual truths. I can forgive myself for my part in institutional racism. Or I can keep talking about how wrong my ancestors were, how sorry I am, keeping the focus on me instead of moving towards solutions.
It's not about living in the remorse of the past. Yes, do your work around that. Dig into whatever cracks and crevices of that still hold true, and know that there are just as many stories of people, white people, walking their talk. Almost 70 years ago in Mississippi, a young military man was taking a bus from the Air Force Base into the town which was about 20 miles away. As the bus doors opened, an African-American woman got on carrying her groceries and went to stand towards the back of the bus. But he stood up and he offered her his seat. When he did, the bus driver said, "You can't do that, sit down." And he said, "No." And the bus driver stopped the bus and said, "Either sit down or get off the bus." Now they were in the middle of nowhere, literally, no cell phones, and nowhere to go but to walk that 20 miles. He got off the bus. That was Gil's dad, George. We can't stand by. We can't stand by anymore. We have to stand up. We have to be better than this moment. George was better than that moment. So the time is now to stand for love, to stand for justice, to stand for peace. Author Lewis Carroll, who wrote Alice in Wonderland, says, "I can't go back to yesterday because I was a different person then. Today, you're a different person. Today, we invite you to take a stand for forgiveness. Forgive ourselves. Forgive one another. And truly move to a deeper state of love." COVID has leveled the playing field. We're all in this together. But there's a larger pandemic going on. A pandemic of hatred, of racism, and inequality. As Elliotte said, Ishing, one heart. We are the cure. So it's with this that I just ask you to take this into prayer. To truly breathe once again. To breathe and to be grateful. To be grateful for the one breath that breathes us. The one breath that is that place of love, that is that place of peace, that is that place of knowingness that has called us forth for this moment in time. I know that that is who I am, that I was called to stand and to be here for something big. And I know that's true for each and every person right here, right now, within these confines of our home, within the virtual world of Facebook, within looking back at this and a recording, that right here, right now, we are together. We are together in this standing as that place of love, of oneness, of peace. And I just know that as we go forward into this world, we open our hearts, we open our minds. We call forth that courage that was spoken of. The courage to truly be who God has called us forth to be, to truly take that stand. And as we do, we truly walk our talk as we create a world that works for everyone.
And so I just take this moment, moving this forward, picking these words and internalize them. And I speak this word for CSL Peninsula, knowing that it is a place of great healing and great love. That the love of Spirit is flowing, and that it's not always comfortable, but it's flowing and it's present, and it's calling each of us forth into our greater yet to be. It's calling us to stand in that place
with Martin Luther King, where we can say that if anyone is experiencing injustice, then everyone is experiencing injustice. We can't pretend that it's only part of us.
So we take this moment to just send love, send prayers, send blessings to the nameless.
Mm-hmm.
To the nameless that have gotten us to this point through hundreds of years of injustice.
The nameless who have suffered, and the nameless who have stood up and have made somebody notice another human being.
So it's with great gratitude and awareness that we raise this Black Lives Matter up. That we know that we are a part of the solution. And we're just grateful and thankful to have been chosen for this moment. And so we release this word, truly knowing that it was made manifest way before it was ever spoken, that it is indeed the word of God come down to remind us of who we are. So I know that it's time to be revealed, for revelation is right here and right now. And we just allow it to be by saying, and so it is.
So it is. Amen.
You just
Robyn and Gil, I was stunned by your presentation, stunned and stopped in my tracks, because I haven't paid the kind of attention that maybe this incident with George Floyd would require of me as a person on the planet, as someone who's committed to contributing. So I've actually had a song in mind that is beautiful, but given the moment that is present, and given the tumultuous times of the 60s, where I grew up as a teenager, there was a song that a man wrote, and I would like to just share it with you now. It'll be on a video. And I know that's a change in the format, but I trust what's happening here. So please allow me to share this song with you. And perhaps the death of George Floyd will wake us up to something new as humans.
Anybody here seen my old friend Reverend? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, but it seems good they die young. You know, I just looked around and he's anybody here seen my old friend John? Can you tell me where he's gone? He freed a lot of people, Didn't they try to find some good for you and me? And we'll be free someday soon. It's gonna be one day. Anybody here see my old friend Bobby? Can you tell me where he's gone? Thought I saw him walking up over the hill. Abraham and Martin and
Very sobering. Very sobering. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Robyn. Thank you, Gil. Thank you, Jim. And I want to thank everybody present here for your attentiveness, because I know your energy was brought to this too. And that which need to be said was said. All I ask is we just continue to have an open heart and be led by Spirit in that which we do. The reason why I'm speaking, everyone, is because Carrie got booted out. And she sent a text to let me know, Reverend Carolyn, take over. So we will move forward with the service. So just breathe. Just breathe. We have really been carried to a place in the heart, starting with our insight speaker to where we are right now. But we will continue to get through this service. So I want to call on Greg to give us his presentation on giving. I don't have the capability for going to the slides. Joe, could you unmute Greg, please?
I have it. Thanks. Can everyone hear me okay? Well, it's almost hard to talk about something like giving right now, although it's certainly a reminder of how important it is. I just want to say that I had the privilege, when I was in my formative years, I lived at a time in Inglewood, California, where I was the minority, and yet after a few rough spots in the road, I was accepted by the Black community, and my name there was not Gregory or Greg, it was Willie G, because my first name is William Gregory Hargrove. So I could never and would never be arrogant to claim that I know what the Black experience is like, but I was very close to the culture. And yes, I thought we'd made some great progress in the 60s and 70s to end this sort of thing. But that serpent keeps coming out from under a rock somewhere. And I hope that someday the work will, I pray, and I know that the work will finally be accomplished. And it's moments like this, services like this, people sharing the way they are, that will bring us to that point. So let's stay the course, stay calm, and keep loving each other. So in the furtherance of these goals, and we don't really need slides for this, it's time for the giving portion of our service. And it's pretty simple. If you go to the CSLP website, there's a big green button right in the center of the page at the top. And all you have to do is click that button and it takes you to a form. It's pretty simple. You simply indicate the amount you're giving and the purpose for which you would like to dedicate it. And one of our new purposes is a program called Helping Hand, which is for our own community. And if you want to, Reverend Carolyn informed me yesterday, much to my delight, that some funding has been received for that program as well. But we can also donate to that too within our own community. So if you are in need of support, let us know. And if you're, like myself, fortunate enough to be doing okay right now, then you can contribute to that. It works both ways. So I would like to just invite everyone to remember, even though we're not together in person, we're together in every other possible way, in mind and spirit and commitment. And let's keep supporting this great work. Where else are we going to have experiences like this today? So I will just simply read the intentional giving statement. Actually, we normally do have this slide for that. I'll just say whatever comes to my mind at this point. I'll paraphrase part of what I remember from that statement. But basically, we know that the gifts given here today truly go forth and do great work in the world. And we know that everything we support is furthered by contributing to the work of this church. So we know that truly it is a divine activity. It is blessed. Now more than ever, it will do great work in the world. The great work truly remains to be done. And also, because we understand spiritual principle, we know that whatever we give will come back to us, blessed and pressed down and multiplied, as it says in the Bible. And so, I bless the gifts given here today with great thanks and absolute confidence that they will be used in the most powerful way to help the members of our community, members of our church, and the greater work that we stand for in the world at large. And let's say together, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you so much. And I'd like to share with you about your being able to access practitioner services today. If there's anyone that needs prayer, not only will I be available for prayer during our hangout time, but Reverend Gill, as well as practitioner Robyn, will also be in breakout rooms. This is a time, if you feel you need prayer, take advantage of our being there for you for the 1 minute miracle. This is not going to be a full practitioner session, but if you stand in need of prayer, come to the Fellowship Hangout Forum and get into one of the break rooms with us, and we will pray with you. And you can send a written prayer request to prayers@cslpeninsula.org, or just show up in the room. That's what I invite you to do. Show up in the room. All righty? All right, now please, Jim, provide us with some music as we go and donate online.
Actually, Joe, don't play that video. I'm going to play an uplifting song, okay? And you can donate. Everyone can donate. This is by John Denver. He requires no introduction. And I will say it's from his album, Heart to Heart. Thank you. I haven't seen all there is to see, but I've seen quite a bit. I've seen things I'll always remember, some things I wish that I could forget. I haven't been around the world, but I've been around the block. I know that distances are meaningless, like the hands that move around the clock. And I know that love is everywhere, always safe, always true. And exactly where it comes from is where it's going to. Your heart to mine, my heart to yours. Talk about opening windows, talk about opening doors. My heart to yours, your heart to mine. Love is a light that shines from heart to heart. Here I am sitting in old Hong Kong, the harbor and the lights, they're like diamonds in the heavens, enough to brighten the darkest of nights. There's another side to sorrow, as there is to everything. You know, the other side of loneliness is falling in love again. And I know that love is everywhere, always safe, always true, and exactly where it comes from is where it's going to. Your heart to mine, my heart to yours. Talk about opening windows, talk about opening doors. My heart to yours, your heart to mine. Love is a light that shines from heart to heart. Thank you.
So I see Carrie is back, and we're happy about that.
So am I. My internet connection just completely vanished. Like my network dropped, like just nowhere to be found, just zipped out. So my apologies. And Robyn and Reverend Gill, I just wanted to just thank you from the bottom of my heart and let us be a stand for peace. That was such a magical, magical talk. So thank you. So I am not quite sure where we are. Is it time for you to do the blessings of the tithes, Reverend Carolyn, or where are we?
It is.
Okay, fantastic. Then I will give it back to you.
All right, so we give grateful thanks for all that has been received, tangible and intangible. We know the blessings of Spirit are always with us. We receive, we accept, and we allow the divine flow of the infinite givingness to be fully present in our life. And in a very simple way, we just say, thank you, God. Thank you, infinite Spirit, for your love and for the sustenance and substance of our life. And so it is.
And so
It is.
And now I would like to bring back our Leadership Council member, Greg Hargrove, and Greg will walk us through the announcements. I just need to pop those up on my end. So Greg, why don't you go ahead, and I will go ahead and get the Vimeo video up online.
Okay, great. By the way, I did, while that beautiful John Denver song was playing, I to those, if you're not used to it yet, I took that moment. I was listening, and at the same time I went to the CSL website and gave my Sunday donation. It's just that simple. And it even said for a moment, please wait. And I'm going to assume that's because so many people were donating that it was slowed down just a little bit, which is fine. I want to start by a reminder that there is an open forum for all of us to connect immediately after service, socialize by way of Zoom. It goes from 11:30 to 12:30, and we have a tab for that. It's a separate link. Sunday, today, Heart First meditation, Reverend Carolyn from 5 to 6 p.m. This is a recurring event, and again, Zoom, by Zoom. Wednesday, June 3rd, another recurring event, the Law of Attraction meeting group. And that is from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And then on Monday, June 8th, Mindfulness Toastmasters will go from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Continuing on Wednesdays, the next one coming up on Wednesday, June 3rd, Reverend Linda facilitates the midweek spiritual boost group. And there we are. My goodness, look at that. We're synchronized. 1 to 2 p.m. By way of Zoom. Thursday, June 4th, Reverend Carolyn facilitates Spirit Soul Connections group. Connections is spelled with an X. And that's at 7 to 8 p.m. by way of Zoom, also recurring. And I would like to, at this point, I believe we would like to invite, it's either Reverend Linda or Reverend Carolyn is going to talk a bit about our caring village. Is that correct at this point?
Yes, Reverend Linda.
Reverend Linda.
Hi, thank you for that. So we have an overall outreach group coming together from our ministers and practitioners. And one of our many things that we are beginning is our care village, which will be small groups of around 4 to 6. And there will be a person, either a practitioner or minister, that will be caring for this group by checking in once a month for a short visit of 5 to 10 minutes for a prayer or for a quick chat. And that should be starting any day. Everybody has their groups already assembled, all the contact information. So you will be hearing from that person, that minister or practitioner. And we'll be changing those people around about every quarter, every 3 months, so we can get access to everybody. And we're excited about this. I don't know if anybody has heard from their group leader yet. Deanna, did you hear? Yes, she did. Cool. So we would like feedback. Give feedback to your person or to Reverend Carolyn or myself. We're very excited to start this program. We've been working on it, gathering the names, because it's not only our members that have joined as members, but others that are joining our community that are considered regulars now, and Revy and Sue are a couple of those people. And when the two of you are interested in joining in on this, let us know, because we will also include you in these groups. If you decide after you have a session, one of these 5 to 10 minute sessions, and you want a full session, either with that person or another practitioner or minister, then you can call and make an appointment and have an actual session. And the sessions are from 30 to 60 minutes, depending on what you need to talk about. And there's a fee for those sessions, and that can be talked about with your person, with your practitioner. The other sessions that come once a month are free. The 5 to 10 minutes are a gift from us to you. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Linda. I appreciate that. That sounds wonderful. A couple more things. We have coming up a Ken Show, that's spelled K-E-N-S-H-O, Ken Show Enlightenment Workshop by Dr. Destia Skinner. And that is a day-long program, which has now been rescheduled for September 12th. Is there anyone with us right now that could speak to that just a bit? Or would like to say a little more?
No.
Okay. And then Divine Dining. Please notify Carrie of any great ideas you have for making Divine Dining. It used to be Gourmets for God, but right now we are not joining each other in person to share food. So we call it Divine Dining, and let's all pitch in and make this a big success. It's actually not only a lot of fun, it's a big fundraiser for the church also. So let's keep it going, and let Carrie know any ideas you have for a fun event and for this exciting fundraiser. So thank you all again for being with us this morning. And now let's join together for our closing prayer with Robyn and Gil Olmstead.
Thank you. Okay. So, yay, God. Yay, God. Thank you so much for making us an ambassador of peace, of love, of compassion. I just know that we take all this out into the world. We release everything that's gone before us that doesn't serve us, and we stand in that energetic of love, propelling us forward throughout our week, going easy on ourselves, stepping into that forgiveness space, and knowing that as we do, we take that stand. We stand up, we stand for, we move out, and we take it out into the world. And we just do that with such grace and such ease. We are the angels sprinkling our angel dust, making that change. And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
And so it is. A huge and very special thank you to Reverend Gill and Robyn. What a just magical and powerful topic that you covered, and sharing your stories with us today to move us forward in so many positive ways. I just want to let everyone know that the Zoom link is posted in chat for the community fellowship starting at 11:30, and we have not one, not two, but 3 practitioners that are offering their time today. Yes. So Reverend Gill, Robyn, who's a practitioner, and Reverend Carolyn. So we will be running breakout rooms for any of those of you that would like to have a 1-minute miracle. And for those of you who are new to the community, what that is just a really lovely, divinely inspired, several minutes of time for you to have one-on-one access to our amazing practitioners to bring up whatever in prayer is on your hearts and on your mind right now. So I will be running that and look forward to it. So thank you again. Yes, Jim.
Harriet has her hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't see her on the screen. Harriet.
Hi. I just want to make a request, since I'm facilitating Thursday's talk, that if anybody's thinking about coming, I would like to ask them to think about a couple of things, because we only have a certain amount of time. So I want people to think about the people that they admire. It could be family members, celebrities, it could be Wonder Woman, whoever it is you might admire. And I would then like you to pick 5 people of the group that you admire. And then of the 5 people, I would like you to list 3 of their qualities that you admire. And if you come in with that, we'll take it from there when we start on Thursday. So it's think of the people you admire, pick 5, and then pick 3 qualities of each one. And they could be the same ones or different ones, it doesn't matter, but whatever applies to the people that you have chosen. Thank you.
Excellent.
Carrie, I had just a quick reminder I forgot to mention when I was talking about all these activities.
Sure.
I know it seems like a lot, but I didn't specifically remind everyone. All of this is listed on the calendar on the website. So you don't have to memorize all of it. You can go to the calendar and pick and choose the ones that resonate with you.
Great, thank you. And in the email for the weekly happenings that Reverend Carolyn sent out, there is also a Vimeo video that also has all of the access with the video links that I was showing as Greg was reading through the announcements. So I'd also like to send a special thank you to Jim for being our amazing musician for the day and bringing that to us. Thank you, thank you. It's always a pleasure. And Reverend Carolyn, any parting words before we close out and jump over to our next Zoom?
My parting words are, I love every one of you. I love every one of you just as you are. And my goal is to cause this love of spirit to just reach you, for you to realize it, for you to experience it, and that you pass it on. And that's the truth for all of us. All of us. So let's go and enjoy the day. Amen?
Yeah.
Amen. Woo!
Thank you, Gil and Robyn. See you
All
later.
right, we'll see you on Zoom. Next Zoom in the chat. Click
Thank you.
over.
See
Oh,
ya.
Reverend
See you there.
Kathy showed up.
Thanks, Deanna.
Everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye.